Friday night in downtown Manhattan, the rooftop of the Hayes Hotel glows with fairy lights and cameras, while a storm brews in Ava Brooks' chest. She stands in a simple ivory dress at the center of a glass stage, facing a crowd that came to watch her engagement to Lucas Hayes, the golden boy of the city.
You called a press conference for our engagement, and then kept me waiting for 40 minutes. What are you doing, Lucas?
I needed time to think. This whole thing is moving too fast, and my board is freaking out about the merger.
The microphone picks up every breath, every whisper, the live stream counter ticking up as the world leans closer.
You begged me to quit my job and move into your penthouse. You said I was the only thing that felt real in your life. Now, your board is nervous. So you want to what? Return me like a handbag?
It is not like that. Investors are already saying you are a distraction. And if this blows up the merger, my company could lose thousands of jobs.
A murmur rolls through the crowd, phones lifted higher, lenses zooming in on her shaking hands and his tight jaw.
So I am the distraction, the liability, the problem you need to cut out for your empire, to stay safe?
Maybe we both jumped in too fast. Maybe we should hit pause and revisit this, when things are more stable.
You asked me to marry you on that same roof 3 months ago, with no cameras and no reporters. What changed?
You moved into my life, and suddenly I could not breathe. There is always drama now, and I cannot afford chaos.
Ava feels the words like glass in her skin. Chaos, distraction, too much, all delivered in his expensive suit and perfect tie.
Say it clearly, Lucas. You do not want to marry me anymore. Right? Here, in front of your cameras.
I think we should cancel the engagement for now. It is better than marrying and resenting each other later.
Gasps ripple across the rooftop as guests trade looks of shock and hungry delight at the live spectacle.
Someone in the front row cheerfully whispers that at least they did not pay for the open bar for nothing.
You did not just break up with me in front of half the city for better optics, Lucas. Tell me, I am dreaming right now.
I am trying to protect what I built. I cannot lose everything because of feelings I cannot control.
You will lose me instead. Congratulations on the most efficient crisis management move of the year.
Ava pulls off the engagement ring. The stone that once looked like a promise now just cold weight in her palm. She drops it on the glass stage, and the sound rings through the speakers like a tiny gunshot.
You wanted a clean image. Here it is. The woman you did not love enough, walking away in perfect high definition.
Ava, wait. You are angry and hurt. Do not do something you cannot take back.
You already did something you cannot take back. You chose your image over me. And that is the truth forever.
Her heels strike the stage as she walks away, leaving his outstretched hand and the glittering city behind. By the time she reaches the elevator, the video has already hit every social feed. Headlines screaming that the golden couple is broken. 2 weeks later, Ava has a studio apartment in Brooklyn, a new job at a nonprofit, and a heart that still flinches every time she hears his name.
He is trending again, this time for crying in a board meeting. Apparently the merger is on fire without his perfect image.
Good for him. Maybe now. He knows what fire feels like when it is inside your ribs, every time you try to breathe.
You know he will come crawling back when he realizes you were the only person who loved him without a share in his company attached.
Let him crawl. I am not a soft landing anymore. I am building a life that does not revolve around his spotlight.
Outside the tiny coffee shop window, snow begins to fall. And somewhere across the river, Lucas Hayes finally watches the rooftop breakup on a loop and realizes what he has done. 3 months later, winter loosens its grip on the city, while Ava learns how to live in a world where her name is not attached to his anymore. She rides the subway to work with coffee in one hand and files in the other, helping families keep their homes through the nonprofit legal clinic.
I forgot what it felt like to do work that matters, and go home without a publicist sending me a script for my own life.
You look lighter, still a little dead inside, but in a cute, functional way.
That is my new brand. Emotionally scorched, but still filing paperwork on time.
Her phone buzzes on the desk with a number she has not seen in months. The Hayes corporate office line she once answered 10 times a day.
If this is a survey about my breakup experience, I am hanging up in record time.
Curiosity wins, she answers, her voice steady even as her pulse spikes.
A polite corporate assistant explains that the Hayes Foundation wants to partner with local nonprofits and her clinic is on the short list. There will be a site visit and preliminary meeting this week. The lead representative will arrive in person.
Who is the representative? Coming from the foundation side.
Lucas Hayes will be there in person to review the program. Thank you for your time, Miss Brooks.
The call ends, and the tiny office feels too small as memories of the rooftop crash over her like cold rain.
Tell me that was not the ghost of your billionaire ex just now.
Worse, it was his assistant, which means the actual man is coming here to my small carpet-stained kingdom.
You can handle him. Just remember that he is a man with poor judgment and not a Greek god carved by a thirsty architect.
2 days later, the entire office buzzes as a sleek black car pulls up outside the old brick building. Lucas steps out in a dark coat, shoulders tense, eyes searching the windows like he can feel her watching.
You can do this. You deserve her anger, and worse. Just take the hit, and do not run this time.
He walks into the cramped lobby that smells like burnt coffee and determination. And suddenly, he is very aware of how polished his life usually looks.
Conference room is over here. If you are worried about optics, we only have flickering fluorescent lights and mismatched chairs.
Hi, Ava. You look good. You look really good.
Please, keep all comments focused on the program, Mr. Hayes. You signed the paperwork that turned me into a stranger for the cameras. Remember.
He follows her into the small conference room, where posters about tenant rights cover the walls in bright ink.
I saw the case summaries. You are changing lives here. The board is impressed, and so am I.
Save the praise for the press release. You chose your board over me, remember. I learned the difference between words and choices, the hard way.
I made the worst decision of my life that night, and I have not slept properly since. Every headline just reminds me how badly I hurt you.
That is not my problem anymore. My problem is raising enough funds to keep this clinic open when the lease jumps in 6 months.
Then let me help. Let the foundation fund this place for the long term. It is the least I can do.
I will not let you buy my forgiveness with a grant. We can work together if it means saving families. But my heart is not part of the deal.
He nods slowly, accepting the terms, even as pain flashes across his face at the idea of being only a business contact in her world.
Then I will start there, with the grant, with showing up, with proving that I can stand beside you even without a spotlight.
Ava holds his gaze for one long charged second, then looks away and opens the folder that might save the clinic and cost her the peace she fought so hard to build. Over the next month, Lucas shows up at the clinic so often that the front desk volunteers start leaving his visitor badge ready by the door. He trades boardrooms for folding chairs and listens to stories about eviction notices instead of profit margins.
Your ex-billionaire is out there stapling flyers to a community board. This is either character development or a midlife crisis.
He wants redemption points. I want our clients to have heat and running water. For once our goals sort of align.
Mrs. Hernandez, we can set up a payment plan for the past due amount, and the clinic will help you challenge the illegal fees.
Ava watches from the doorway as he kneels beside an elderly woman, rolling up his sleeves and explaining the numbers slowly until her shoulders loosen.
You are a nice young man. Your eyes look tired, but your heart looks busy.
I am trying to fix some things I broke. Starting here feels right.
After closing time, the staff trickle out until only Ava and Lucas remain, surrounded by stacks of files and half-empty coffee cups.
The board thinks I am using this partnership for image repair. They do not know that this place is the only time I feel like I deserve the air I breathe.
You always deserved air, Lucas. You just did not deserve me. After the way you threw me away.
I did not throw you away. I panicked and chose fear over love. And I hate that version of myself more than you could ever hate me.
Fear is not an excuse. My entire life exploded that night. I had strangers sending me messages telling me I was too dramatic for a billionaire.
I reported every account I could. I wanted to shield you, but you had already blocked my number, and you were right to do it.
Silence settles between them, heavy but not hopeless, like a sky that might still decide to clear.
I know I do not deserve another chance. I am not asking for forgiveness today. I am asking to keep showing up until my actions say more than my apology.
You are asking to chase something you already shattered and expect it to look brand new once you catch it.
I know. It will never look brand new again. I just want to be the person who holds the pieces with you instead of the one who dropped them.
She looks at his shaking hands, the same hands that held a ring on a rooftop and a microphone when he ended it, now clenched in quiet regret.
If you are serious about this chase, then you should know something. My life is not a prize at the finish line. It is the whole track and every brutal mile before it.
Then, let me start with the miles. You choose the pace. I will keep running as long as you let me stay in your sight.
The next week brings a new crisis. The clinic landlord sends notice that the building is being sold, and the new owner will triple the rent.
If they triple the rent, we are done. We cannot even afford a water cooler that does not wheeze like a dragon with asthma.
We will fight it. We always do. Maybe we can rally the community and go viral in a good way for once.
I can buy the building. I checked the numbers. If I purchase it through the foundation, we can lock in a long-term lease at your current rate.
You want to own the roof over my head again. That went so well last time.
It would be in the foundation name, with legal agreements that you can review with your own counsel. No strings, only security for your work.
She studies him, searching for ego for performance, but finds only raw worry and a stubborn kind of hope.
Fine. We will look at the contracts. But if I smell even a hint of control in the fine print, I will burn the deal to the ground myself.
Set the terms as ruthless as you want. I am not afraid of your fire anymore. I am afraid of a life where you are not in it at all.
Ava turns away before he can see the crack in her armor. The tiny part of her that still remembers the way his arms once felt like home. Spring arrives with blooming trees and a war over the building. Protests on the sidewalk and legal filings piling up on Ava's desk. The developer trying to buy the property is a ruthless conglomerate that treats neighborhoods like chessboards and lives like disposable pieces.
They offered to let me in on the project if I stayed out of the fight. I told them to choke on their own contract lawyer.
Wow. Personal growth. The old you would have framed the contract and taken a victory photo with it.
The old me did not know what kind of world I was protecting. I thought safety meant pleasing people who were never going to bleed for me.
Together they attend community meetings, Ava speaking with fierce clarity, while Lucas quietly backs her up with research and numbers that dismantle the developer claims.
If this place goes, we lose the last clinic that takes our cases seriously. You two better win this for all of us.
We are not going down without a fight. I promise you that.
One night, after a brutal negotiation round, they end up alone on the clinic roof. City lights flickering like a mirror of another rooftop. They both remember too well.
I hate that I hurt you under a sky that looked like this. Every time I see fairy lights, I think of the way your face fell when I said those words.
You did not just hurt me. You rewrote my idea of love into something that comes with a non-disclosure agreement and a risk assessment table.
Then, let me help you write a new version. One where love can stand in the same room as fear and still choose you every single time.
The wind tugs at her hair as she studies him. The man who once ran from her now standing steady in the eye of a storm he chose on purpose.
Why now, Lucas? Why could you not do this then? Why did you wait until everything was already ashes?
Because I was a coward who thought power meant never being vulnerable. I had to lose you to understand that real power is choosing the person you love, even when it costs you everything.
His phone buzzes on the ledge and he ignores it, though the screen flashes with his board chair name and the word emergency in all caps.
The merger collapsed this morning. They blame me for dividing my focus. They want my resignation by the end of the week.
You are losing the empire you chose over me. How does that feel, Lucas?
It feels like justice, and honestly, it feels like freedom. For the first time, I am not choosing between you and them because there is no them left to impress.
Ava expected to feel satisfaction. Instead, she feels something softer and more dangerous. The old ache that says he is finally becoming the man she always believed he could be.
I offered to sign over my voting shares in exchange for keeping the foundation untouched. I do not care about the title, but I care about this place and about you.
You would walk away from everything you built, from every headline and fancy rooftop, just to keep funding my clinic?
Yes, I would walk away from all of it. I already lost the one person that mattered most. I am done trading love for power.
Her heart squeezes painfully at the raw honesty in his voice. The rooftop suddenly feeling smaller, as the past and present blur together.
If I ever give you another chance, there will be no half measures, no press releases. Just you and me and whatever messy real life throws at us.
Then I will take the mess. I will take every hard day. I will take your anger and your silence if it means I still get to earn my way back into your life.
Down on the street, supporters chant to save the clinic while cameras flash. But up here on this quieter roof, another story is slowly rewriting itself from tragedy into something else. Summer heat settles over the city. By the time the legal battle ends, the developer backs down under public pressure, and the clinic lease is secured for the next 20 years. The foundation officially owns the building, but Ava holds the keys to everything that happens inside it, and the contract is tight enough to make any lawyer weep with respect.
You did it! You saved the clinic! Also, your ex-fiancé just publicly resigned on live television and nuked his own reputation for funsies.
On screen, Lucas says he is stepping down to focus on more grounded work and personal growth. No spin, no careful image, just a man choosing a different story.
He actually did it. He burned his whole kingdom. That is one way to say, I am sorry.
So what now? Do you let the man who set the fire apply to be your emotional intern again?
I do not know, but I know I am not the girl on the glass stage anymore. If there is ever an US again, it will be on my terms.
A week later, Ava receives an email invitation to a community fundraiser on the roof of the clinic, organized by the staff to celebrate the victory. Attached is a simple note from Lucas saying there will be no press, no sponsors. Just people whose lives were touched by the clinic and by her work.
He really loves roofs. Maybe this time, nobody gets publicly executed emotionally.
The night of the event, the roof is strung with cheap paper lanterns and folding tables instead of crystal and designer florals. Families laugh, kids chase bubbles, and a local band plays covers slightly off-key, the air thick with the smell of grilled food and relief.
Thank you all for coming. Tonight is not about me. It is about the community that fought to keep this place alive, and the woman who refused to give up on it.
He looks at Ava when he says woman, and the crowd instinctively turns to see her blush under the lantern light.
I once thought success meant being untouchable. Now I know it means being accountable. So I want to apologize publicly to the person I hurt most when I chose fear over love.
Lucas, you do not have to do this. We talked about this. You already lost everything for this fight.
I am not doing this to earn points. I am doing it because the woman I love deserves a partner who owns his mistakes even when it is uncomfortable.
The crowd quiets completely, the music fading to a soft hum as he walks over to her with no microphone and no cameras. Just a heart stripped of spin.
Ava Brooks, I broke your heart on a rooftop chasing a version of success that was killing me. I thought keeping my image clean would keep us safe. And I was wrong. I will spend as long as it takes trying to make amends. But if you never want to forgive me, I will still be proud that I got to stand beside you for this fight.
You have been chasing me for months. Lucas, not with gifts or headlines, but with late-night research and coffee runs, and showing up when things got ugly. You lost the empire. You chose over me. You let the world watch you fall, and you still kept choosing this life with me in it. That counts for something.
Her voice shakes, but her eyes are steady, as every wound and every soft memory collide in her chest.
I cannot pretend the past did not happen, but I am tired of letting one horrible night define every chapter after it. I want to write something new.
Does that new chapter have room for me as more than the villain in the prologue?
It has room for a man who learned how to stay, how to listen, and how to love without checking the stock market first.
The crowd erupts into cheers as someone yells that it is about time. Kids jumping up and down like they just watched the finale of their favorite show.
If you two do not kiss right now, I will start a petition. Do not test me.
Ava laughs, the sound free and bright, and steps into his arms, this time with her whole heart and both eyes open.
I love you, Ava, not as a brand accessory or a perfect image. I love you as the woman who burned down my illusions and taught me how to build something real.
I love you too, Lucas. Not as the billionaire on a magazine cover, but as the man handing out flyers in the cold and staying when the cameras are gone.
Under paper lanterns on a modest roof, They seal a new promise, one with no microphones and no trending hashtag, just two hearts choosing each other again. Later that night, Ava stands at the edge of the roof, looking out at the city. Lucas' arms around her waist as he rests his chin on her shoulder.
This is the only spotlight I ever want again. This roof, this clinic, this life with you, messy and honest and ours.
Good, because there is no exit strategy in this version. You are stuck with me for every boring Tuesday and every rooftop disaster we survive together.
She leans back against him as the lanterns sway and the city hums below, their broken pieces fitting together into a new shape that feels stronger than anything untouched ever could.
Thanks for watching. Follow for more romance stories.